Alrighty, so Wuthering Waves has been out for nearly 2 weeks, and there's been some tiny bit of misinformation and not enough good guides for this game yet, which that's going to happen. So, I'm here to tell you that this will be the definitive video telling you everything you need to know about echoes. Let's get into it. So, echoes in this game, if you've played Genshin Impact, if you've played Honkai Star Realm, think of it like this. Echoes are basically the artifacts/relics from those two games. But they work differently in this. What do I mean by that? Well, once you reach a certain level in your databank, you can now use, or you can have 12 cost. There's two different types of combinations that you can do to achieve this. There's the combination that I have right here, which is 43311, or you could do 44111. But 43311 will always be the better outcome. More on that in a bit. So, your 4-cost echoes are going to be the bosses in this game. And they can be easily found by these right here, these diamonds. Anytime you see a diamond, it is a boss. So, one rare occasion though, one rare one though, is the crownless. The crownless can also be an echo, as well as the Bellborn right here. So those two are also for 4-cost echoes. Generally speaking, the first echo slot, your main echo is going to be a 4-cost echo, because that is the one that will give you the biggest boon. For instance, with the Baron Gall here, after the follow-up attack strike hits, the current character's arrow damage increases by 12%, and the heavy attack damage increases by 12 for 15 seconds. Whereas opposed to, say, I have the Chase Racer as my main, transforms into Carapace to perform a spinning attack that deals arrow damage, followed by a slash that deals more arrow damage. But I don't get that boon. So 3-cost echoes are better as being supports. Same thing with 1-cost echoes. Now, every echo can have a main stat to it. So 4-cost echoes can have crit rate, crit damage, healing bonus that are all unique to them, and then attack, HP, and defense percent. With 3-cost echoes, they can have all forms of elemental damage bonus, as well as energy regen as their unique, and then they also have HP, attack, and defense percent. Whereas the 1-cost echoes, they only have attack percent, HP percent, and defense percent. So, what is the best way to get these guys? So, for the 4-cost echoes, I don't know if this is true for every single account, but from my own testing, this works perfectly well. When you go to fight a boss, for the first time once, you won't get that echo. But when you fight it again for a second time, it will always guarantee a drop that echo. What do I mean by that? I'll show you. Say, for instance, I need a new Baron Gall. What I can do is I can fight it once, wait a few minutes for it to respawn, and then fight it again, and it'll drop an echo. Watch. Didn't get him the first time, so now I'll wait. As I said, once you fight the boss once, a second time, they will drop an echo guaranteed. This also works for 3-cost echoes as well. But you have to fight 4 3-cost echoes, and on the 4th one, you'll get that echo guaranteed. Don't believe me? Just watch.
Tell truth from facade. You worry. Tell truth from facade. Finale.
In some cases, you can get lucky.
Tell truth from facade. Settled.
Alright, that was 3. On this 4th one, I'm guaranteed to get a 3-cost Echo.
Tell truth from facade. I can take it.
And there, as you could see, I got one after my 4th. For the 1-cost Echoes, on the other hand, from my testing, you can get them within a range of from 4 to 8. You'll always get it on the 8th, guaranteed, but I have gotten a 1-cost Echo from either 5, 6, or 7. So keep that in mind. Now, let's go into another thing. What do the symbols next to these guys mean? Well, they are based on sets. So, there's Freezing Frost, Molten Rift, Void Thunder, Sierra Gale, Celestial Light, Sun-Sinking Eclipse, Rejuvenating Glow, and then Moonlit Clouds, and Lingering Dunes, all of which do something different. Much like in Genshin and Star Rail, this game has 2-piece effect, but this game has 5-piece effect, meaning you need to have 5 on-set pieces and no off-piece, which is a bit upsetting, but it's whatever for now. So, for Freezing Frost, 2-piece gives you glacial damage 10%, and then for 5-piece, you get 10% after releasing basic attack or heavy attack. This effect stacks up to 3 times, each stack lasts 15 seconds. Molten Rift, fusion damage 10%, and then 5-piece, fusion damage plus 30% for 15 seconds after releasing Resonant Skill. Void Thunder, electro damage 10%, electro damage 15% after releasing heavy attack or Resonant Skill. This effect stacks up to 2 times. So every single one of these is unique and do different things based on what they require you to do. Even the attack percent as well. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about the cost effectiveness. So, there's 43311, and then there's 44111. Now, I'm not going to get into any kind of debate. This is objective truth and fact. There are only 2 bonuses, or 2 sets that can take full advantage of 44111, and that's Havoc and Thunder, because Havoc has the Crownless and the Dreamless as bosses, which are 4-cost Echoes, whereas the Void Thunder has Thundering Memphis and Tempest Memphis. Every single other set would have to do 2-piece with attack percent or energy regen / healing, depending on the character. For early game, sure, you can go ahead and work on 44111 if you so desire. But you have to realize, one of those 4s is going to have to be from an elemental set, like Sierra Gale, while the other 4 has to be from Lingering Dunes. Unless if the character wants energy regen, then you go for the energy regen set, which is Moonlit Clouds. But when you get into later game, where you can start getting 5-star Echoes, then you can work on 43311, which is the definitive one that you want to work towards. It is trickier and harder, but I have a way to rectify that, sort of. So, for 3-cost Echoes, as I said, after the 4th 3-cost Echo, you will get 1 guaranteed. There's a way to make sure to always get the one that you need, as well. What do I mean by that? Well, by going into your databank, so what you can do is go to Sonata Gallery, and say, for instance, I want this dude, the Auto Puppet Scout, for glacier damage bonus. What I can do instead is I can do a different set, so like Sun-Seeking Eclipse, and then tag, the Tambourinist, for instance. I can tag this dude, or detect this dude, 3 times, and then immediately go back to the databank to fight the Auto Puppet that I need. However, unfortunately, the Auto Puppet Scout, much like all of the other echoes in this game, come from multiple sets, or can come from multiple sets. So, not only do you have to get the right set, but you also have to get the right damage bonus as well. This is why I think the game could really benefit from having 4-piece instead of 5-piece, because grinding for 3-cost echoes is miserable. So, what I would recommend is on the first day that you need to grind for a 3-cost echo that you need. So, for instance, if you need to grind the Auto Puppet, I would grind the Auto Puppet until you can't anymore on day 1. And then on day 2, what you can do is, say for instance, find a different 3-cost echo that you need, farm that until you beat it 3 times, and if you don't have the echo guaranteed, then go back and fight, the one that you need. What you can do as well is, on day 1, mark on the map where those echoes are. For instance, these star markers that I have on my map, right here, 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 and here, these were all flutists that I fought earlier today, because I plan on grinding some of them so I can get electro damage bonus for Calcharo and Yinlin. So what I can do tomorrow is I can instead farm a different 3-cost echo, and once I have fought it 3 times and didn't get a drop, I can go to one of these stars, track it, and then teleport to the nearest teleport location, fight it, and then get the flutist guaranteed. Now, when it comes to leveling up your echoes, what I would recommend doing, and this is a basic principle for any gacha game with any substat. So, say for instance, this dude right here. This one right here. I'm just going to use it as an example. Go to upgrade, and then only level it to like level 5, for instance. And then tune. See what the first substat is, and if the first substat is not a desired substat, then don't level it up anymore. Because for this game, you don't get these often at all, and only get them from either challenges or tacit fields or whatever else have you. So they are a very rare commodity. So don't waste your XP. Just level up the echo that you want, up to 5, see what the main stat is. If it's an undesired main stat, don't waste your XP on it. If it's a desired main stat, then you can go to plus 10, and then plus 15. And after plus 15, if at least 2 of them are a desired substat, then you'll level it up to max. So there's that. Now, at the end of the day, if you are under Union level 30, I wouldn't worry about echoes at all. But once you hit Union level 30, that's when I would say start grinding echoes, but not to the extent of powering up characters. Just work on getting your databank level up there, and then once it's to the highest it can go, then you can work on trying to max out your echoes. Or at the very least, get good enough echoes that you can do damage. Once you reach Union level 40, which I am, start prioritizing working on echoes and getting the desired main stat as well as substats that you want and need. Taken care of, I think that'll be about it. Hopefully this guide is helpful, and you won't need to ask any more kind of questions for echoes, but if you do have a question, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. I know for a fact there is going to be one question. So, for instance, if you fight 1-cost echoes and then go to fight a 3-cost, will that still work? No, it will not. I've tried, and it doesn't. So, always fight the 3-cost, like if you're going to grind for a 3-cost, only fight 3-cost echoes. If, for instance, this Rose dude right here has, generally speaking, he has 2 1-costs with him. If you need to fight just the big dude, only fight the big dude, and then go on your merry way. Don't worry about the small fry. On the other hand, if you're only fighting the small fry, only fight the small fry, and then go on your merry way and fight more small fry. So, hopefully that'll about do it for now. I'll see you next time.